Hey, happy Taco Tuesday to all my fellow traders out there. I hope you guys had a great day today. You got your mouth all set for some tacos. I know mine is. So as soon as I get this recap done, you know where I'm heading. But today was kind of a crazy up and down day for me. Started out again. It's like if my day doesn't start out bad and stressful, then I just don't have a good day. But, we'll talk about that here in a minute. First things first, let's talk about this market. So everybody knows I use the SPY as the proxy for the S&P 500 because I can relate to it a little bit better. The price tag and the chart looks better. So, we talked about this last night, and I made a case for the bears and I made a case for the bulls. Early on, it looked like the Bears were seizing control, but then the Bulls came back, throat punched them and brought this back up. And I said if we held 450, this would go up and we would likely test the 100-day and the 20-day moving average right here. Well, it closed before we got there, but in the hour after the close, we ran up 2 points, or either just almost 2 points, and we tested this. So we did test this aftermarket. Now, today, I can make a case for the Bears. I can make a case for the Bulls. It all depends on where we open up tomorrow and whether, which side can defend what. If the Bears can hold this resistance here and get this to start selling, then we're going to get a little pullback. And I think we'll get 40 to 50% retracement at a minimum. May even get 60%. But I would say 40 to 50% pullback before it bounces and attacks this again. If we open up strong, we can take out and hold above the moving averages here. We can make a move up toward the 50-day. Now, we may not get there tomorrow. It may be something that may take 2 days, but that's the possibility, and that's the Bulls' case. That's their scenario. That's what they're looking for. So what we do, I don't try to be on one side or the other. I try to wait and trade whatever the market is going to give me. I'm going to go with the flow. Obviously, right now, I want it to go up because we're in a couple of swing trades. SQ, RBLX, Netflix, we've already hit our first target. We hit our first target today. We didn't hit it on the other stocks yet. But, obviously, I want the Bulls to seize control until I can knock my profit targets out on all the swings. And then the market can do whatever the hell it wants to do. But that's what I'm seeing right now in the market. Let's look for this level here to either hold or not hold. Right now, we're sitting on this level, on this pivot right here around 453.86, 454. So it's been holding above that. We've got some pretty big wicks below it, but it's been holding. So it looks pretty good that the Bulls can control this and open above these moving averages. But again, time will tell. I'll be up every time I wake up to use the bathroom, which is often every night. When you get old enough, that happens. I check the SPY. My wife thinks I'm talking to somebody else, but I'm checking the SPY. So that's what I'll be doing tonight. All right, so let's take a look at our day. First trade out of the box. Oh, throat punched. Big mistake on my part. Big mistake in judgment. I held this thing way too long. And paid the price for it. Something happened something spooked the market. I think we were on the verge of coming back and pushing. Something spooked the market. This is just a case of bad luck, plus me holding this too long. And I ended up having to take this off and eat a pretty big loss. Now, yeah, right now, if you look at it, hindsight's 2020. I could have just held it just a little bit longer, and this thing would have come back around. I wouldn't have had to take a loss. But who knew we weren't going to keep washing out? There's just no way of knowing this. So you have to, I got to the point where I had to take it off. If it happens tomorrow, I'd have to do it again if I made the same stupid bonehead mistake. I would have to do it again. So I started my day off on a bad foot. I can't blame anybody but myself because I messed that up. And I did take another trade before I took this trade. But since we're on this chart, I took the next trade. This is a confirmed move over the 5-minute opening range high. You can see this is the first candle since the open to close above the 5-minute opening range high. This didn't confirm, but this candle did. Once it confirmed, I got long. First target, ran into some resistance here, just could not break through it. So I couldn't get to my second target, and we ended up having to take a base hit on this. Nowhere near making back what I lost on the first trade, but I managed this one pretty good. I didn't make the mistakes that I made over here, and you can see it just pretty much traded sideways the rest of the day. But that was UPS. UPS was on earnings, so that's why that one got on my watch list. Netflix has been one that we've been watching over and over and over again. Here's where we broke. This was a pre-market high, which was sitting right above the opening range high here. So this is the opening range high, 5-minute opening range high. And then, am I right? Yeah, 5-minute open range high. But I couldn't buy it into this. So and this was after 10 o'clock, so I had to wait for confirmation. So we got a break above it, got in on the confirmed move. First target, and again, pull back, stop out. It's just the volatility that we're experiencing, and my profit targets are very short. I shortened my profit targets because I wasn't getting profit and the stock was pulling all the way back, stopping me out. So I started shortening up my profit targets to ensure that I make money. No, I won't be making as much, but that's fine. As long as my account's growing and my equity curve is headed in the right direction, it doesn't matter. All right, so here we had to wait. I was watching this. It broke over this channel, but it never confirmed. It pulled back, and once we confirmed over this, I got in. It did pull back a little bit, but this is normal. When you get in a trade, it's just not going to go your way immediately, so this is what's going to happen. So I got in, started nailing profit targets. I made a mistake here. I meant to take this target off and split it, but I didn't get to do that. So I kind of made that error a couple of times. But this got to 455. I was going to leave this off and see if I could get some more out of this. And you can see this thing ran up into the close. So I could have gotten a little bit more out of this, but I still got the meat of the move here. I can't complain about it. After the day that I had, I love this home run here. Even though it got shortened a little bit, it didn't go out the park. It was an in the park home run, and I'll take those any day as well. So that was Netflix. And after that, we went to earnings. So the first trade I took on earnings was StarBucks. Now, the earnings trades, I've gone over them in the last 2 webinars that I've done. If you haven't seen them, go watch them. There is a piece on both that covers this strategy. And basically, it's a 5-minute opening range breakout or breakdown. I let the first 5-minute candle print from the announcement. If it breaks short, breaks below, I go short. If it breaks above, I go long. Here, I broke short, and this thing just kind of held up at 95. If you were in the chat room, you saw, and I pointed it out, how many orders for 95 were going through time and sales. But you had 95 right here on the ask, but the numbers weren't changing. I mean, we saw massive amounts of orders for 15 minutes going through, and 95 just wouldn't budge. So, because I'm wired out, my account is smaller now, I couldn't leave this on and go jump on PayPal, which was the one I really wanted. So I had to bail out of this to go get on PayPal. So as soon as I got out, look at what happened. It went right to the 52-week low, which was my target, right to the 52-week low. And, just turned out to be a good trade. Why I couldn't do this in the first 10 minutes so I didn't have to cut this short, I don't know. But it works. The strategy is pretty good. The only drawback is you have to give this thing more room. So I don't really have a stop set on this until you can't put a hard stop in anyway. I don't use hard stops unless I'm just taking profit. But you can't put hard stops in aftermarket. So that's a little thing that if you're not experienced and you're not disciplined, you might not be able to stop out if you need to. But the same rules apply for the 5-minute opening range breakdown. Here's the low of that first 5-minute candle, the announcement candle. If this candle cannot close below this and you get another candle to make a new high, get the hell out. If this candle starts down and then it starts to rip up, get the hell out. Okay, you're gonna have to do that. This is a little bit different. You're gonna have to be a little bit more experienced, a little more disciplined. Yeah, these are easy trades, but you have to execute. All these trading strategies are simple, but if you can't execute them, you won't make money on it. So that's the deal with that. Now, the last trade was on PayPal. This is the one I wanted. And you could see here is the low of the announcement candle right here. So I had trouble. For some reason, my platform started acting crazy. I don't know if it was still processing the sell I did, but I got in a little bit late. I tried to get in up here, but I got in a little bit late because it just jumped my order, so to speak. So I had to close that order and go back and get another one. But it did bounce a little bit on me, which is fine. This is normal for it to go back and retest. It did, and then it started coming down. First target, just like SBUX, was the 52-week low. And then I started taking targets here. Now, I did the same mistake here. Instead of me splitting this, I just put in a profit target for the full amount. And I should have done 25 shares here and 25 at 145. That was my final target. But it looks like I had that hiccup today where I didn't split the last two targets right, and I ended up not getting the full move. Still got the meat of the move, but did not get the full move. So to give you an idea of what I messed up today, let's get a snapshot of the P&L. So we ended up 885.54 today, $927 loss. But you know what? It was over $1,000. I had over a $1,200 loss on the first trade. And that's inexcusable. So, I'm going to punish myself tonight for that. But Netflix, really nice trading on it. Got a total of 650.76 on it. SBUX, I had to bail out of that quick, but had I had enough time to stay in it, this would have been a really nice trade. And PayPal turned out to be really good too. Could have had a little over $1,000 day, but left some meat on the bone. Had to feed the dogs, I guess. But, pretty happy with this so far. Okay start to the week. But I have to realize it, and what's hard for some of us is to realize it's how much profit relative to your account size. So my account size now is less than half of what it was before I wired out. So I can't expect to make the kind of money I was making when my account was a lot larger. So it's a smaller account. I have to take smaller size. Case in point, Netflix I could only trade 150 shares on to kind of stay in check. And so I'm not going to make the money that I have been making, but I still feel trading 300 shares on everything today. I think we did pretty damn good. I'm bringing in $800 after that $1,200 loss. So I'm not going to rain on my parade. I just have to punish myself for breaking my rule this morning, and we'll get back at it tomorrow. So you guys have a great night, and I will see you back in the jungle in the morning.